Hey folks, it's Greg. You're watching Greg Country Cabin Outdoors. Hope you're having a great day. A friend of mine invited me to a party for a gender reveal for his new coming baby. Not born yet, but anyway, I sent him a text message, said yeah, it's a boy, and sure enough, I was right, it's a boy. Anyway, I'm out in the area and I thought I'd stop by my cousin's farm. And you know, there's nothing brings back memories for a farm boy like driving along a dirt lane next to a cornfield, next to a hedgerow, and going back to the back 40 area and going fishing. Yeah, I went back there and I fished. It's full of weeds and moss, and I did get a nibble right away. However, with the weeds that I had to drag the fish through, it broke my line, so I lost my fish, I lost my hook, I lost my bobber. But a bad day of fishing is still better than a good day at the office. So yeah, I'm heading out right now. I'm gonna go back to my cabin, get my boat out, and see if I can't find another crappie or two out there on the lake. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Hey folks, I want to talk about hunting. I got to thinking about driving out of my cousin's property there and growing up on the farm and that. And I got to thinking about when I started hunting. I think I was 9 years old when I actually started just hunting. I wasn't allowed to have a gun. But by the time I was 10 years old, I got a 410 shotgun for Christmas. And I was allowed to rabbit hunt, pheasant hunt, quail hunt. And so every opportunity I got, I went out hunting. And back then, there were hedgerows around almost every farm. Some of them didn't have them, but a lot of them did, especially the cattle farmers, because it was easier to plant a hedgerow and let it grow up than it was to maintain barbed wire fences. So those hedgerows were great habitat for rabbits and pheasants and quail. And although I never shot a quail, I shot a couple of pheasants, I shot a couple of rabbits, and I learned, first and foremost, you don't loan your equipment to anybody. A friend of my brother's borrowed my shotgun to go hunting, and they stuck the barrel in the mud. And it really made me mad. I've never loaned a piece of equipment, hunting or fishing, to anyone since. So when I started bow hunting and putting videos up or posting on Facebook that I had shot a deer, I started getting these requests from people to teach them how to deer hunt. Well, I'm all right with teaching somebody how to deer hunt, but I'm not loaning my equipment to them to deer hunt. It's expensive. When I first started deer hunting, I wasn't deer hunting simply because I didn't have the equipment that I needed, that I felt comfortable with, to go deer hunting. I had a 45 caliber muzzle loader. Yes, I could hunt with that. 69 caliber muzzle loader. I could have hunted with that. But I wasn't comfortable with hunting with that. So when it was suggested that I should start deer hunting, I went and bought a single shot 20 gauge, and the equipment that went with it. And after I had about $750 invested, I was told, I'm awful nervous about that. And I said, well, you know what? You're the one that suggested it. Do you want me to hunt or not? I hadn't even shot a deer. Hadn't even had a chance to shoot a deer. And I had $750 invested in a sport that might provide meat. So after I harvested about 5 or 6, well, no, it was more than that. It was more like about 10 deer. The same person that suggested I go deer hunting bought me a compound bow. Surprised the heck out of me. I was not expecting a compound bow. I told her that I wanted one, and I expected her to find one that was used. She bought a brand new one. Blew me away. Just completely blew me away. I'd never bow hunted in my life. So I took it to a guy that I knew was an expert on bow hunting. And he got it set up for me. I brought it out to my cabin and set up a target. Got it zeroed in and started bow hunting with a compound bow. Since that time, I have not shotgun hunted at all. I was given a 50 caliber Thompson centerfire black powder gun. And I took it out today and tried sighting it in. I put a scope on it. Tried sighting it in at 75 yards. I tried sighting it in at 100 yards and missed the target completely. And I tried sighting it in at 75 yards. And the more I dialed, the worse it seemed to get. But I did actually get closer to my target. I just never hit center. So I put the gun away. I brought out my new 357 that I won, and I fired it 5 times, and I actually hit the target 5 times. I like it. It's comfortable to shoot. It's a lot more powerful than I want to use as a concealed carry. However, if you hit the target, it's coming down. But let's get back to hunting. If you want to hunt, then you need to buy the equipment. And if you're going to deer hunt, you're going to have to spend around $1,500 just to get started. You need a good compound bow. You need arrows. You need field points for practicing. You need broadheads that meet the specifications of your state. You need either a hunting blind that's set up for bow hunting. You can't just use a shotgun blind. Or a deer stand. You need bright orange equipment that will let you stand out for other hunters that are in the area. So you're looking at an expensive hobby, or you're looking at a great way to put meat on the table. And when I started hunting, It was about putting meat on the table. It wasn't about sport. It was about putting meat on the table. And you're not going to kill something every time you go out. I know that. I've missed a bunch. I've had days when I just sat in the stand and nothing came by. But I've managed somehow to fill at least 2 tags a year. Some years I've been fortunate enough to fill 3. So I invested in a crossbow, and I'm looking forward to trying that out this season. I brought it out to John T's cabin. We set up a crossbow target at 25 yards, and the first shot was to the right about a foot, and so I reloaded. Second shot was dead on. So I'm comfortable with the crossbow. The 50 caliber I still have to work on. I can't seem to get my sight, which is a scope, dialed in where I want it. But the property I was shooting on, the guy gave me permission to come out there anytime I want to and practice. So what I've got to do is get me some cleaning solvent for my gun. I have black powder guns, and I've got shotguns, and I've got cleaning solvents for both of them. But this particular one, I've been shooting Pyrodex, and I want to make sure I got the right stuff, because there's nothing worse than going out hunting with a dirty gun. When you pull that trigger, you expect it to go off. If it doesn't, 2 things are going to happen. And this happened to me with a Remington 20 gauge shot shell. First thing that happens is the deer is going to hear the click, look you right square in the eye, and run off. The second thing that's going to happen is you're going to throw your gun. I didn't throw mine, but I was extremely upset, and I did not like the fact that I just wasted a shot at a perfectly good doe. I mean, we're talking 150-pound doe. Very upsetting. So when you're out hunting, or you want somebody to teach you how to hunt, you need to consider the fact that they have invested a lot of money into a way of putting meat on their table. Now, if you want a way to put meat on your table, then you have to invest. And if you have a friend that will allow you to go out and shoot and practice to where the point you are proficient, then I will come out and help you. But don't expect me to come to you and loan you my equipment and take you to my hot spots, which, by the way, are regulated by the homeowner, and he will not allow anybody to hunt his property that does not have permission. I've hunted 3 different counties, 3 different properties. I was invited by all 3 of the people that allowed me to hunt. I didn't ask them if I could hunt. They told me I could come out and hunt anytime I want to. I always call them to make sure that I've got permission to hunt. I would never go anywhere without asking permission first. I've been hunting since I was with a gun since I was 10 years old. I know the rules, and I know what respect is, especially when it comes to farmers. You get on their property and you hunt without their permission, you're liable to get shot. Anyway, This is my little play on the hunting game. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and be sure and click that little bell icon to get notified whenever I put a new video up. Thanks for watching.